Says the light box.
It might be coming.
It could be.
Yep.
And it won't do it till after the time reaches zero. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and call the August 18th, 2025 Tipton Utility Service Board meeting to order. The first item on the agenda are the minutes from the last meeting.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. Any questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next, we'll move on to claims.
Make a motion, we pay claims 26,856 through 26,893 for $1,134,795.71.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to pay claims as submitted. Any comments? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Up to the charge-off report and delinquency report, sir.
Sent that information out this morning. It's been kind of a quiet few months on the charge-off. Unfortunately, this one not so quiet. Over $6,000, mainly in from one family with multiple accounts, and I explained that further in the email. It was a rental situation, death in the family, property sold, and we didn't do things correctly on our end to collect all the money, but we did collect some, but unfortunately that's what's left, and there's really no recourse we have. So still doing well overall, as Lori pointed out. Thank you for your kind comments. The part of the job nobody likes, and Emily has to live with it like almost daily, but she does a great job with it, and we're better today than we were for sure a year ago. So.
Yeah, I'd point out the age receivables are lower. I think what's concerning is there's still several over 3,000. Two of those are gone, but one over 4,000. So we need to kind of work. Those are the ones that are probably going to get us. So I think we need to, I don't know if we need to meet as a smaller group to discuss some things, but I think they need to be at least paying their current bill and a percentage or something extra to get their outstanding bill paid.
You're correct, Pete. There's a handful. I know one for sure is out of town now, and that's probably going to come up in the next month or two on the charge off. But the other ones that I'm aware of, just going off the top of my head, or we're collecting some, and it's like we're at that point of no return. We kill them, shut them off. We won't get anything if we at least hold steady and try to work into it. And unfortunately,
I mean, we all have hearts. I get it.
Yep.
That's the challenge, but you know, even if they went to Donnie or Greg was retired, so I can't take on it. I went to a bank and borrowed the money to pay it off. They charge them interest. I think we could do something favorable to keep it on. And you know, they're good people. I know. I see the names on the list. And feel for them, but we've got to take care of ourselves. That's our job on the board.
Some type of progress, even minimal, would be a positive, a step in the right direction. And I think that's where you're going with that, isn't it, Pete? Yeah. So maybe we can work on an update on these
we'll do
side by side,
so
month over month.
Easier list to deal with, even though there's ones on there. It's about 4-page report. It used to be 8 pages. So we're making progress in both directions.
Certainly are.
Make a motion, we approve this as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the charge-offs as submitted. Any further conversation on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
I had planned to have a resolution to put in front of the board tonight, but I didn't get it done. We had a lot going on with startup on our project, and I'll get to that in a minute. But the resolution, as you we can talk about it tonight, and then if there's other changes we want to make or whatever, we can address it at next board meeting. But had to do with TMU investments in employee training, and it's not $100 or $200 here and there. It's thousands of dollars and a lot of time and effort that certain employees get. And the concern is they get that training, they get that credential, and then they say, oh, somebody else in Carmel or Westfield is willing to pay more for that, or Duke Energy is willing to pay. I've got this training now. Thank you, Tipton, and see you. And that's happened in the past, not often. I think the city police department deals with it a lot more, and maybe the fire department. They do lose. Rick can probably attest to that. They lose their folks, and
They think the grass is greener.
yeah, and it could be.
A couple of them have come back.
That's even better. But I thought, I put a little teeth in it. Here's an employee that we're willing to invest in. We want them to have skin in the game if they decide they want to leave after 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, and get some of that back. And that's what the intent was. And I wanted to make it as simple as possible. The one I had from Frankfurt was like 3 pages and was really like, man, that could just opened up a lot of cans of worms, I thought. But be willing to take comments, questions tonight, and we can address it next meeting if you want.
I'm personally pretty torn about it. I think some of it comes down to, I think every position has training. Some of it comes down to hiring the right employees. Maybe I'd feel better about it if we put a dollar amount or a max dollar amount. I think you can define training in a lot of different ways. So maybe it's training that the utility is paying for, or that type of thing. But a dollar amount max. Training
You drink
on the
water,
job.
you
I
gotta
think
go
we're all
pee.
any position that you'd hire for is going to have some on the job training. So that would be, to me, that's a concern.
Yeah, and just to be clear, this was external training. Hey, we're sending you off to get third-party training, and we're willing to pay for that. So we absolutely believe in the OJT part of it. And it's few and far between. It's not every employee is even eligible for that, and we usually wait a year or 2 before we say, hey, this person's a keeper. Let's invest in this person. Let's help them get credentialed. And it's been like one person in my 4.5 years that this has come up, and I know it came up in the past in talking to Rex Boyer, my predecessor, and I just wanted to try to just put something in writing and maybe have the person think about, hey, there's real tangible dollars behind what they've done for me, and if I up and leave, maybe I do owe them something. So. But I can add that, Pete, for sure. I think about a max cap, and
I think I'd feel better about it. And I think it maybe gives yourself or Joe Plake some legs to have a discussion with that employee.
yeah,
Hey, we're going to invest money in you.
yep,
Just get some commitment from
Yep.
them, I guess.
Yep.
As we look to hire in the next few years, because we're going to have to. So I think it's smart to develop something.
Yeah.
Now, for sure.
Yeah.
You mentioned Frankfurt. Did you, what other areas did you look at, maybe to benchmark what they have? Is that what you?
My counterpart at Frankfurt, he's been very helpful in these. Hey, what do you guys do in
Okay,
this
good.
regard? He's like, well, here was our board resolution. So I'm like, okay, I just cherry picked the main items and said, here it is. So I didn't check with any of the others, and I did run it by our city attorney, and he tweaked it a little bit, cleaned it up. So.
Yeah, and I would say we do something similar in the IT field, because for expert level certification paths that take years of training,
Yeah.
I mean, you're investing
Mhm.
tens of thousands of dollars into someone. But also to Pete's point, maybe somewhere in the middle, maybe it only applies. I think the schedule that you put out there is more than fair, in my opinion, based on what I've seen.
Okay.
But maybe kind of to Pete's point, it's not a slippery slope, but it's kind of it's a balance, right? So
Mhm.
maybe if it's for journey or tracks above a certain dollar amount, that this might apply, versus like if I go out and somebody spends $5,000 on me for a week boot camp, you know, kind of let that one go maybe. So
That's probably the dollars we're talking about involved with the CDL or an apprenticeship for electrician might run up to 10 grand. I'd have to look at, see it exactly, but it's a 5 to 10 grand investment we're making versus we're sending somebody to the local chamber
Yeah.
training event next week or something like that.
I haven't seen what we offer for, like, when we offer a hiring, I guess, a hiring offer to hire them, but I think it would be good if you had that quantitative level, and then you can advertise that we are going to invest in you in these ways. So in terms of just other avenues of compensation than just financial, we'll invest in these ways. And then once we get to this point, then this requires a commitment back.
I'll send you a copy. It's our offer letters on one page. It doesn't go into that
Okay.
kind of depth, but.
Because you can, when you get to the point where you have to hire a lot of people, you can really entice, especially younger people, with the number of days off they're gonna have paid,
Oh, yeah. Well, we
investment.
definitely,
cross-
the health insurance plan that we
Yeah.
have is hard to beat, so.
I mean, I think you're smart for planning, because in a few years, you're gonna have to
Oh,
hire.
yeah. And our goal is to get the people in at the lower level, invest in them, and show them a future and a vision of, hey, so-and-so is only gonna be here 5 more years. Somebody's, and you're eligible if you get these credentials and we're willing to pay for it. This is what the future looks like. It's not just, hey, you can go get $2 an hour more down the street. But we do try to, present a vision of some sorts other than just a dollar amount.
But I think if you give them, hey, you're gonna have to pay these back if you don't, if you're gonna give them a restriction, you should start with giving,
Yeah.
here's the things we're going to
Sure.
invest in you.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of beef up that letter to show what we're investing on.
Yeah. And that could come through.
Because that might come down to hiring the right people.
Yeah, it'd make me feel better about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Our biggest idea of they're here to stay is when they buy a home in Tipton. And there's not a lot of homes for sale, but the 3 apprentices in our electrical staff have all managed to purchase homes in the last 2 years here in Tipton County. So we're pretty pleased that we've got a bright future there. But Duke Energy comes a calling, and who knows? Anyway, we'll revisit that next month, and I'll get on to why I was so busy today. So we do have safety training coming up Wednesday. It's on load rigging, so all our guys will probably participate in that. We all have opportunities to take heavy loads off of trucks and move them around, use chains and hoists, and that's always a good one. So hopefully a good turnout from the city and utility. And project update. So we had startup today on our lift station here in town across from your house, Don. It was a clean water lift startup. Basically, we had a fire truck show up, help fill the lift station with water, do several tests on the pumps. Do they draw down adequately and the right amount of gallons per minute, and et cetera, et cetera. So everything checked out. A few minor tweaks on the control system yet to be done. But that lift station is now ready to receive flows from out west. So the next step will be to go out west on Wednesday, and we have an existing lift station out there, and we're putting new pumps in it because now those pumps that are out there aren't designed to push all the way into town, the flows. Right now they're only pushing it to the treatment plant 100 feet away. So the new pumps, similar size, different impellers, they will be installed, tested, and we will begin sending flows into the city. And we'll be operational here shortly, later this week. So we had, 8 or 10 people out there this morning, all through the day, doing different types of tests. And our engineering firm, Wessler, had a representative there that put even another set of eyes on it. They're used to doing those kinds of startups and commissioning. So big milestone day for Tipton Utilities and our READY project. And in speaking to the financial arm of the READY, they're talking about maybe doing a ribbon cutting and inviting people from the state. I mean, who knows, the governor might.
Oh, good.
So So stay tuned. You'll all be invited, and we'll see what happens there.
It looks nice out there.
Mm,
Are they, you said they're putting a fence up? right?
Yes, there'll be a fence
Okay.
basically surrounding where the stone
Yeah.
is. Yep.
Any kind of landscaping at all, or just a fence?
There is it's called a rock garden. If you go by there slowly, you can see this bunch of greenery. It looks like a triangle of greenery where the water is supposed to flow through. And that was an add-on to satisfy the Big Cicero Creek Drainage Board. So other than that, there's,
I did have a ratepayer ask me, he's like, is there any landscaping?
yeah,
I don't know.
we try not to mow as much as we have to.
I'm satisfied with the rock garden.
And then tomorrow, in between lift stations, so today was intermediate lift station, Wednesday is the West Plant lift station. And then tomorrow, we're gonna fill and disinfect the water tower to make sure it's not leaking any water. And there's still some punch list items to do there, but we're getting really close to being able to put that thing into service. So it's all coming together,
Good deal.
kind of close to plan.
Good deal.
Couple other things. We're still investigating the filter bottom repair work out at the West Water Plant, and I'm just giving you a heads up and a warning. That's going to be over $100,000 of work at some point. We've got one option we're looking at that's just right at $100,000, but doesn't include. We're going to have to purchase new media and install that, so it's going to go north of there. And then there's another option we're also evaluating. So nothing has to be done immediately. It's not an emergency. We will get to that. We may even push that into 2026 budget type of event. So, but we do want to get this work done prior to the big customer going online out there. Have been working with board member Parker Woods on cybersecurity. He's reviewed our insurance policy. He's talked with our third-party vendor. We've exchanged a few things. We're going to implement a couple great ideas. We have some remote computers that aren't tied into our system here, but there's some things we can add on to them that make a lot of sense and are very economical to provide us some more protection. So thank you for looking into that and helping us out. So I sent him the 60-page insurance policy, and he read every word of it.
Real riveting, page by page.
No, you might recall we upped our insurance so that the city and the utilities up to $2 million now. And Lord, we hope not to have to
Never use
visit that, because the first event we had a couple years ago, there was no ransom involved, and we didn't have to get into that conversation. But it's just the way of the world. That's where we're at. I did want to mention that last meeting I said, hey, tomorrow I'm going to attend a design review meeting down at IMPA for the new combustion turbine they're going to build in Anderson. And I did make it to that meeting, and the engineering firm had 8 people come in from Kansas City and Michigan and the East Coast. They all arrived, and they had 8 more people on the virtual, meeting site. So it was quite an event, and I think IMPA and the engineering firm have definitely got their arms around that project. And like a lot of things in the last couple of years, the prices just keep inching up. And if you say, well, let's just wait and see if they go down, you're just not going to be happy with that outcome. So we're forging ahead. And Jack Alvey, the president, CEO of IMPA, he gives an update at all the board meetings. And I'm sure that update this Friday will be, here's what we accomplished. And he's very tuned in. That's his background and career. He operated combustion turbines for IMPA at Richmond, Anderson, and he was involved when they added the 3rd turbine in Anderson. So this is right up his alley. And he and we kind of peppered him pretty good on some of the questions, and worked out really well. So more to come on that, but that's a project that we're talking about today in 2025. If everything goes as planned, it will be commissioned in 2029. That's the kind of permitting and going through MISO and ordering equipment and getting construction done. It's this project we're completing is more or less a 2-year project here in Tipton. And This is just bigger scale and longer
A
lead.
lot of red tape and MISO and a lot of money.
A lot of red tape and
Bunch of,
non-refundable money, so. We're pretty excited about that one. Not much news out west. I have noticed, if you've driven out there, they're really doing a big job cleaning the storm ponds out there on the east side of the factory. The new customer has hired, looks like a third party coming in, and they're tearing trees down and cleaning out ponds, and not really sure what all's involved there. It hasn't impacted us, but and they're still plugging along inside the factory as far as I know, paying their utility bill, which has been pretty small in comparison to what we think they're going to be. And no other new news on any of the developments out there. Donnie, have you got anything from?
Not a thing.
Okay.
Haven't heard anything on the city county. Pete, you heard anything on that?
Nope.
We will be closed on Monday, September 1st for Labor Day, which would be a normal utility board meeting. So note that we will meet on Tuesday, September 2nd, next board meeting. So I think that's all I got. Be glad to take any questions.
Any other questions, concerns for the board, conversation?
Heard anything on the task force?
Nothing. It's been really quiet.
Yeah.
So
The last we knew, they were putting together the commercial interlocal agreement. The county side, I believe, was doing that. And I haven't heard any more about that either. Have you,
no.
Jim? So, Councilman Rippey? Bob?
No, I got some stuff I'll take up with Jim at another time, but make sure you sign me in.
I'll do that. Thank you. I'll go get that. I'll sit it on my desk. I'll get that. Thank you, Bob.
Give out something someday.
There you go. You'll win the door prize, right?
200 meetings and.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, okay, got a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
See y'all.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Bye, Dick. Be careful.
See you.
Yeah, see you.